Morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've been working through the bane of my life, which is Lego. I have a love-hate relationship with this. I love the money and the profit, but hate the time it takes. And whilst I was going slowly mad, checking which bricks were missing and how much they cost to replace and how much I should charge, I thought, let's run up a little scenario of how long things take, because I've been thinking about doing wholesale, or just getting stuff in more bulk rather than the individual kind of Magpie of items that I do. I do like my 400% ROI plus kind of items. That is what I've done, but of course they're not just lying around waiting to be bought in bulk. So I had a little thing. I did a video the other day on different ways of earning £35,000, and I thought, well, I can use that as a basis, that the spreadsheet that I did. So it's a bit more spreadsheety today. So yeah, here we are. So I had this model, and hopefully I've got all my formulas right. Knowing me, I've probably got something wrong. And I did three scenarios. One was the 30% ROI model. So it's all this stuff in columns A and B. The stuff over here, I put in today. But so 30% ROI might be, kind of wholesale or retail arbitrage, online arbitrage model at a low rate. I've got to say it's probably like lowest you want to go is 30%. And then there was a blend. And then there was going to the boot fair and picking up him for £2 and selling him for $15.99 or something, 400% ROI stuff. And it just kind of showed that basically the turnover will vary. So I'll put a link into that video up here. I've got some quite good comments on it, and kind of blew my brain a bit, but got it out there. And then I was just thinking today about how much time does this all take. So again, for these models, I just put in some very generalized values that I haven't sat down with a stopwatch and gone go. No, it's kind of like plucked out of my brain, unfortunately. So I've looked at the total arbitrage model, and I've looked at the total Magpie model. Okay, so I'm just going to go through it very quickly. So for the arbitrage model, I've said, okay, what's your rate of sourcing per hour? Now, for this model, for the £35,000, I said you needed to sell about 11,500 items, 11,600 items. So you've got to get 11,600 items in a year. Now you could, 1st of January, you could go, well, I'll have 11,500 of your, whatever it is item. Could you send it to me? Aha, I know I'm going to get 30% ROI on this, and that could take you an hour. But is that realistic? Well, I'm saying that you're going to get this stuff in batches, and batches could be any number, but it could be, I'd say I want 200 of an item. That's how I would look at it, and that might take me an hour on the internet or an hour on the phone or whatever. So 200 items every hour, time taken. So to get the 11,500 items, it's going to take me 11,500 divided by 200. A little formula up here if you want to copy it. Round about 58 hours. How long is it going to take to list? I've probably missed things that take time, like testing and all of that sort of stuff, but like I said, it's very generalized. So your listing rate, so with an item that is arbitrage, you're going to have a lot of them, so it's going to be a multi-listing. So let's just say you're doing a multi-list for those 200 items you've got in. I reckon that might take, now listings can take a minute. I can list something, maybe 2 minutes. I can list something in a couple of minutes. Yeah, if it's a DVD or something relatively straightforward. But for a multi-listing, I'll put a little bit more time. I'll put somewhere between 10-15 minutes. I'm saying you can do 5 of those multi-listings in an hour. So if each multi-listing has 200 items, you'll be able to list 1,000 items. which sounds all right. I don't need 1,000 items per hour, but it's a multi-listing, and that's the thing you've got to remember: 200 listings of 200 items every listing. So, how long would it take to list 11,500 items? Yeah, well, it's 11,500 divided by 1,000, giving you 11.5 hours. And the packing rate is probably, if you're buying arbitrage, you want something that's easy to pack. So I've sort of said 15 an hour. What does that work out at? Per one every 4 minutes, something like that. 15 an hour, is that right? Yeah, that's right. So that's what I've said that. And again, to pack all of them, 11,666 divided by 15. To give you that total time. So the total time on this model, and when I talk about time, it really is spread out. It is ups and downs, concentrated time where you're not doing anything. And again, this may be totally off because of, you know, the generalisations I've made, but you're looking at about 850 hours, which probably works out like two or three hours a day, something like that. Of course, if you change any of the numbers in this model, the numbers are going to drastically change. If you think your sourcing rate is actually 300 per hour, or if you think it's 100 per hour, you know, all these numbers will change. Your packing rate will probably, you know, affect it the most, I think. If you drop it down there, you'll have a huge increase in time. But anyway, let's bear this in mind. 850 hours. Go down to our Magpie model, and it's a difficult one. We need to get 875 items at an average of 400% ROI to make this 35 grand. Okay, so you go to a boot fair, and how many items can you get at 400% ROI, or coming out at that average per hour? Now I've put 2, and of course it could be more than that. But you might be going around getting more items. You might be getting 8 items at 100% ROI. You know, so you've got to bear that in mind. You may be thinking, I can get more items at a boot fair. But the point is, if you're getting more at less ROI, if you adjust the you know, if you were saying, you know, I'm getting 2 at 400%, that is equivalent to maybe 8 at 100%. So it swings and roundabouts. So let's put in, I'll put in 2. Like I say, change it if you want to. Listing rate per hour. Higher than, what did I put up here? Yeah, I've got 1,000 there. For here, this is normal single listings. You know, your normal, and again, dependent on what it is, it can be quick. I've put, you know, 1 listing every 6 minutes. I think that's kind of about right. This is about the rate I list at, I think. So again, to list those 875 items, just wonder, you know, 875 divided by 10. And your packing rate again is lower. You're packing less items, because this might be a whole load of shoes that you bought and you just stick them in a poly mailer, or, you know, a whole load of t-shirts or whatever, whereas this might be a video recorder followed by, you know, it could be a video recorder followed by a game, followed by a Lego kit, followed by a, you know, and it's a whole different mishmash of things. So you might be doing, you know, packing one up might take 15 minutes, and again, you may say, oh well, actually packing doesn't take me that long, but it's you know, you think of how long your quickest item is and how long your longest item is to pack, and it's just an average of all of that. So I put in all these figures and you know, come out with this number, 743, which is actually incredibly similar to this number here. It's just that where the work is. So here, all of the time is actually on the packing end, and where you're saving time is the sourcing end. I think that's the thing to take away from this. And here, all the time is really at the sourcing end, which is not a surprise, because it is kind of like looking for those, you know, oh, I've got my knowledge, that's items there, and it's not like It's not like somewhere you can. There's not a man at the boot fair with the 400% ROI stall. It just doesn't happen. So yeah, just bear in mind of where the time is when you're trying to earn your money. Of course, again, the thing here is if you do manage to get a higher ROI. So if I put up my ROI at 50% on my arbitrage model or on my wholesale model, okay, it's going to take me less time to earn that £35,000. So I'm going to put it up to 50% here. So straight away we see we need less items to get that, and the total time taken is less. So always aim for a high ROI. Golden rule really: buy low, sell high. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me flick back to the big screen. Yeah, I do go a bit crazy on my spreadsheet sometimes, but again, I don't like to spend a lot of time on that. But a simple model can just sort of like make you realise, if I'm going to get into having less profit on an item, what am I saving? And normally you'll kind of like save time, so it's well worth considering. Anyway, for now, that's all. It's a 10-minute video. Yeah, if you did like that, do click the thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed. If you've got any comments on it, chuck us a comment below. But for now, take care, and I'll see you soon.